Hello OUYA folks, this is Tim Grotman. I wanted to do an overview of the purchase system by starting out looking at just the Java side of things, and then I can cover how that relates to the Unity side of things. So if you've downloaded your ODK, inside of there you'll find the samples, and there's an iap-sample-app. And then in the source for that, way up in the console API, you'll find this test OUYA facade, which is there's the same class, well, it's a modified version of the same thing you'll find in the Unity package as test OUYA facade. Alright, so I'm going to open up the Java code and kind of review this and show you what we've ported so far on the Unity side. The OUYA Unity package is coding against a moving target, which is the ODK iap sample. Alright, so this is the test OUYA facade is a Java class, and it's part code that we want and part also unit test. So it's got a package name, and we use the same package name in the Unity version. And then it's got the test facade. It also uses JUnit for the unit testing framework, which we don't really need that part, but we do need the test facade constructor, init code. We need the get the product list, do a purchase, and get the receipts. So that's the key things. But when we look at this class it's part functional, part validation, and unit tests. So we have to kind of extract the parts we're interested in. Alright, so in this class, we know it extends the OUYA facade, which is the IAP interface stuff. So it's got the constructor, which gets the class set up. It's got some init code where it passes in the developer ID. And then the parts that we're interested in is requesting the product list, requesting a purchase, and requesting receipts. All this other stuff isn't stuff we need to be concerned about yet, like getting the gamer UID, the shutdown code, the simulating the success and fail events is part of the validation code that's part of the unit test. So it's just explicitly invoking the success events on the listener so that they can make sure that that code works. And then anytime you see expected results, that's all test case stuff. So they'll have some expected seed, they have seed data and some kind of expected results in their unit tests, and validation to see various things are called. Okay. Most of everything after that top part is all just simulate unit test stuff. And then they have accessors to get the developer ID. This clear thing is probably used in their unit test between tests, because each test probably does a teardown and reinitializes the class, or it might reuse it, and it needs to clear out all these lists. They also probably add receipts, where we're just going to make a purchase and then get the receipt. More simulate code. Okay. Alright, so I see the key things that we want, right? So we know we want the test OUYA facade, the constructor, add products, init, request products, and request purchases, and request receipts. That really is the bare bones what we need. Okay, so now if I look side by side with the Unity version of this stuff, and so we've got a similar package name. Then we've got the same test facade. Um, this is from an earlier version of the test facade, but we have like a default developer ID that you override. We have our own list of products that we get details for, which, obviously your product, you're going to have a different list of products that you get the details for. This older version of the test facade had UI code and other stuff built in, but this newer one is much cleaner. It's just the bare bones calls, which is good. It just needs to be integrated into the Unity code. So there was, like, we had the old constructor, some setup code, some init code, and then it would register a listener for the success and fail events, and then on success we do stuff where we pass the results over to Unity, and we have a way to get the receipts and the products and all the similar stuff. Okay. So the same basic classes are still here. So they still have purchasables, and receipts. So the receipt listener just deals in strings, I guess, huh? Alright, well, I see I'm going to need to update this stuff. So that's the next update that's going to be coming in the OUYA Unity package, which is to sync this stuff up. But in the future, anytime it gets out of sync, you just have to pop into the iap-sample-app, you take a look at their test facade code, and then you just bring it up to sync and bring it up to date. Okay, well, I hope this is helpful. There's a 3-part video after this one that goes over how this is hooked up for the old version, and then there's going to be a video after that about how this new stuff changes, and it'll be clear how it's hooked up after you watch that video. Alright, thanks for watching.